Hello, this is Winston Cunningham. It is June 16th, 2025. And today I am focusing on respecting the body. The body is the vehicle for mind to get acquainted with itself, just like mind is the vehicle for I am to get acquainted with himself. So stepping it down, we are using the physical body as a vehicle for experience. And what I mean by respecting the physical body is that we need time when the body has gone through trauma. It needs time to rest. Anytime we put something onto the body that it's not prepared for, then it will need some adjusting time. We need to allow for that rather than just to continually forcing things that are foreign to the physical body or not yet, the body is not yet acquainted with it. So the body is always needing some adjustment time. So we need to respect that. I was speaking to someone recently that I think is probably abusing her body through the use of caffeine and keeping herself hyped up in order to function. But I don't think she's being kind to her physical body. I make sure I get a certain amount of sleep at night because I want to preserve this body because I have further use for it. And there are many things that I want to improve in the physical body, and that requires, I know that requires changes here that reflect into the physical body. So the way I'm working at respecting the physical body is to see what it is that's kind of out of place with the physical body. Because what's out of place in the physical body did not start in the physical body. So it needs help from above. And that relates to our thinking. And by now, everyone should have a copy of Permanent Healing by Dr. Daniel Condren. But it's from research from the School of Metaphysics over a period of 50 years about the relationship between mind and body. Because what happens in the body has already happened in the mind. And a complete adjustment, a complete change, a complete healing will not and cannot occur until the attitude that caused a particular difficulty in the physical body is changed. You can make adjustments in the physical body, but until the mental part is adjusted, it will keep bringing the same thing to the physical body. So the physical body is our vehicle. We're using it for experience, and I want to care for mine, and I'm doing a pretty good job. But I've still got a long list of things that I want to make adjustments in, and some of them are things that I don't know how yet. But I put attention on wanting to see how, and that desire to see how will lead me to see how. And this is true from my own experience. I've accomplished this in many ways. But what I have accomplished is just preparing me for what I am to accomplish. I'm not ready to be satisfied with what has been, because there's a long list of what needs to be. And I'm embracing what needs to be. It's not, a lot of it's not comfortable. But the physical body is, when there's trauma, and I've got some going on now in the bronchial area, and I've got the basic idea of what it's about, but I need some fine tuning because I'm still having a little bit of difficulty there. And if I had the idea completely correct here, it would be completely correct here. I know that. So I know that I've got some adjusting to do. And we're all designed to be adjusters. So if we're adjusting, we're doing our job. If we're not adjusting, we're ignoring our job. The physical body is like an overcoat for the mind. It gives us a way to gauge our own thinking through the health of our physical body. Because good thinking will show up as good health. Bad thinking will show up as bad health. It's pretty simple. But there's a lot of details in between. And I'm especially impressed by a couple of people at the YMCA. I know, one male, one female. And both have recently and ongoing lost some weight, and they look good as a result. And these are adjustments. I admire these adjustments they're making in themselves, even though neither one of these people know anything about mind, as I do. But they are doing something. They both changed their eating habits, and it reflected in the physical body. And this is something that I really need to do because of to help with managing the diabetic syndrome that I have. And I'm the overall mental attitude of holding back. I'm working on that, so I'm making that correction. But I've still got to correct what is already settled into the physical body. I've got to admit that I've got to clean up what I have messed up. That's a simple way of putting it. And so if we want to know, at any given time, if we want to know what we need to clean up, just listen to yourself complain about the area of the body. Because and look at your copy of Permanent Healing. I refer to it every day almost. Not only for my benefit, but for other people's benefit. Because I want to clarify to them something that they could do to make a difference in their situation. And their medical doctors are good people, and they are doing what they know how to do to help heal them. But that's an outside influence. And so far, the mind is not taught as part of the becoming a medical doctor. And there will be a time to where that will change, and it may be changing already. I don't know. But to understand how we create problems is a big part of correcting the problems. And their doctor can tell them what's going on in the physical body, and they do a beautiful job in how to correct it, and they can give them suggestions according to what they understand of changing habits and so forth. And those things can be constructive. But in order to know the attitude that caused a particular problem, you will need a copy of Permanent Healing. And I have suggested many times to people, I don't know how often they followed up on it, but the School of Metaphysics does health readings. They call them health reports now. But it'll give you the mental, emotional, as well as the physical condition of the physical body, and suggestions for correction. So we are graduating into this level of thinking, and it is increasing. There's a groundswell of movement throughout the world to understand more about themselves, and this is good. This is what has been needed for a long time. So to understand how to take care of this physical body is what I'm talking about. Because I've got a lot to do, and in order to do what I need to do, I've got to stay in good enough shape to do that. And I could make a list of things that I could be doing better. And that list is always available. But where I'm just, for instance, the particular area of the bronchioles that I've had difficulty with lately, and in an overall sense, I understand what's going on with me, but I need more detail. So I need to pay more attention through dreams, through talking to other people, through seeing what I'm attracted to that I needed to hear, and especially like a couple of people I know at Y that have made tremendous progress in losing their weight, and it's as a result they've changed their whole life, and I'm impressed by that. So and I need to do more of that stuff, more of that, and to an extent I'm still hanging on to family tradition of stubbornness. I want to do it the way I want to do it. So there's some of that going on. But the growth that is before me that needs to happen is where my attention is. And fortunately, pretty much every day I'm able to help people in one way or another, to help them to maybe move their attention from thinking about what they don't have or what could happen, all the turmoil and everything, to what is and what can be. We can adjust in our thinking, and as we make those adjustments in our thinking, our life begins to change, and this is reflected in the physical body. A person, and I know many people, and I see them at the YMCA, have had more surgeries than you can count, but they continually creating disease after disease because they do not understand that it is them that is the cause. They think these things just happen to them, and that is not the truth. And the truth will set you free, but you have to use it. Like my difficulty with the bronchioles that I'm wanting to do. If I stop with, well, I'm doing what I can, well, that's not enough. And that's one of my talks. Your best is not good enough. It's because you stretch into, like Einstein said, that a problem cannot be solved by the same level of consciousness that created it. So our release of anything that we don't need or that is not serving us happens only as we expand our consciousness. Expansion allows for release of what we don't need because we're in the process of creating what we do need. Creating. Our thoughts are creative. That's why Jesus said, every hair on your head is counted. Now, in language of mind, hair represents conscious thought. So what he was saying is that every thought you have is creating your life as it is. So don't disregard any thought as being irrelevant, because if it's your thought, it has a relevance. And that relevance is you're going to be able to see it in your physical body. And if your thoughts are clear, healthy, moving forward, becoming Christ-like, moving in that direction, then you can see that reflected in your physical body. If you're trying to hang on to what was or what isn't and all that stuff, then you're going to see that reflected in the physical body. Because health will be somewhere out there, not close to you. I could probably say a lot more about the physical body, but I wanted to just express that I respect the physical body. And it serves me. It is my servant because it gives me feedback on my own thoughts. My physical body tells me how I'm doing as a thinker. And next time you hear somebody talking about their list of diseases, pay attention to what they're saying. Pay attention to their thoughts. And you begin to see how they are creating the very things that they don't want. The physical body is our vehicle, and we need to give it respect. Give it the time that it needs to rest. Give it the recuperation time it needed. And rather than push yourself, like at the YMCA, people pushing themselves all the time. Rather than push yourself over the limit, act as if you care about the physical body. And quit punishing it. Because it's your vehicle. Do you throw rocks at your vehicle before you get into it to drive to wherever you're going? It's the same thing. Most people like to take care of the one they're driving. They take some pride in that. But I present to you that your physical body has that kind of importance. Yeah, it'll wear out and you'll sleep for a while and you'll get another one. But what I want to do is I want to stay here as long as I can and do as much as I can this time. I've come to appreciate the time that I'm living in right now. Now, when I was a little younger, I was having trouble appreciating that. But now, I appreciate where I am. I appreciate that I am. And I appreciate this physical body. And of course, I want to make improvements in that. And I'm paying attention to what's coming back to me as a result of what I've put out. Called feedback. And the physical body is quite simply a feedback system for the mind. So what is your physical body telling you? That's the question. I'm Winston Cunningham. Have a good day.